Hello paper crafters, I'm Sunny Sky and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today we're using the Message in a Bottle set, and I'm going to show you a few cards that I've created with this set, and then we're going to do a variation with another one. So these are some retired papers that I've been using up playing with this set, so they're all coming from the same paper set. And then this is the style we're going to use on this one. And I kind of like this message because it's a three-parter. So you have the empty bottle, then you have all the greetings, and then you say, get the message. So that is the card we're making today, but we're going to use some current paper instead of these retired ones that I've been working on. So if you want to hit pause on the video, you can take down these measurements for all the pieces that we'll need. This is the Color Theory Suite paper, 6x6 papers that are in that set. And we're just trimming it down a little bit to do our version of our card today. Alright, so let me pull the scoreboard back in. And so we are going to be seeing both sides of this piece of Designer Series paper. So you'll have to determine which way you want the paper to go. So I'm going to make this be the front. And you're going to score at 1 inch. This is the 6 inches across. That's the direction that we're scoring. We're scoring on the long side. 1 inch and 4.5 inches. And what this does is this extra inch of paper, we're going to wrap that around behind the card, and that's going to provide some stability there. And then this part is going to fold over the opposite direction, so we see both of the patterns on the front of the card. Okay. So the other pieces that we need, instead of a full card that folds, it's actually our Designer Series paper that's doing the folding. And so what I do is adhere this smaller 1 inch flap of the Designer Series paper onto our layered side. And I'm just going to flip it over here to kind of make sure that I've got it lined up. Maybe I'll just do it this way. Make sure that I've got it lined up. And then you can see that that's the bit of the paper that's going to show up. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this and layer it onto the full card. So the part that opens up inside into our message is this interior, this is what makes the fold, is the Color Theory Suite paper. I just cut this piece larger so that I could fit in my message that's on top of my bottle. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the bottle on all three of these pieces. And the bottle that's on that larger piece that's on the front, because that message is larger, it doesn't fit over the bottle, it fits above the bottle. I'm just putting the bottle near the bottom of the cardstock so that I'll have room for that message up above. Alright, so we're doing that in black. And then this paper goes with the Berry Burst, is the color that it is, so we're going to use Berry Burst as our ink for our messages. I'm going to do this one first. Now this message, or series of messages, does have, you can see it's not a complete oval. It is larger near the top, as is our bottle. So I'm going to try and line this up so that it goes completely inside the bottle. Hey, that was pretty good. And I chose the Berry Burst just because I wanted some sort of a reddish color, since this message is about love. Do our saying that's going on the outside. Remember, on the outside our bottle's just going to be empty. And then when you open it up, you're going to see the message inside. And then we've got the smaller saying, get the message. And I'm going to just put that right across the bottle. And if you do it just right, you can see the E inside the bottle and the question mark on the outside of the bottle. Alright, now when you adhere this front layer on here, you want to only put adhesive on half of it, because the other half is going to be able to flip open. You could glue this whole thing down, but I like putting it just on half. And I believe what I'll do is go ahead and get some dimensionals and give it a little bit of dimension. Let me make sure I've got the right side here so I don't accidentally put dimensionals on the side that's not supposed to be stuck down. Get my backings off. And I'm going to just line up the center of the card with the center of the message. So I'm not really worried. It's a little bit, it is about half and half, but I'm kind of looking at these as my margins rather than how much of the image is on this flap. And you could cut the flap a little bit differently and end up with different, where it's off a little more to the side, and recenter it based on what you're doing with that. Alright, and then I'm just going to kind of center this message in the center of where that one is. And you also could do a card where you've got more, where you've got some contrast in your images. I'm just kind of eyeballing where that goes. All right, but this one is pretty monochromatic. So that's the card. Pretty simple, but it's kind of a fun fold there. And this way you're getting to see both sides of your designer series paper. So if you really love both sides of the paper, then this is a great card to do. So thanks for joining me. Remember to share, shop, and subscribe, and go have some fun crafting.